Tune in Saturdays at 1 p.m. for the Your Body is Your Pharmacy radio show. Hear from the doctors that were among the first in the U.S. to merge the ancient wisdom of Ayurveda and natural medicines with the advances of modern medical science. Listen to pioneer doctors Virender Sodhi, Shailender, and Anju Sodhi to keep up with some of the latest medical advances and learn from some of the true leaders of Ayurvedic medicines every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. with the Your Body is Your Pharmacy radio show on Desi 1250 AM. Radio that listens to you.
Hi folks, this is Dr. Virender Sodhi with your favorite show, Your Body is Your Natural Pharmacy, where I teach you that we all can remain healthy as long as we follow the laws of Mother Nature and we eat according to our body types, we eat according to seasons, and we do right kind of exercises, not too excessive, not too less. We do stress reduction like yoga, breathing, Tai Chi, even having a good laugh with your friends and family, spending a quality time with your family. All those things can make you live healthier and longer. Today we have a very interesting topic. As you all know, the sun is finally out in Seattle, and we have been waiting for it to happen. And when the sun comes out, and there is a lot of stuff we love to do with the sun. We go out and we end up exposing ourselves to a lot of sun, and which is positive and negative both. And there is a issues with the sunscreens, and so one I've been told that the Washington State and Northwest uses the highest amount of the protective gear for the eyes, like your goggles and those stuff in the whole country. So like we have the highest amount of sale on these sunglasses in the country in the Northwest. And looking at the sun, I can understand why, because we don't have too much sun when it comes out, and we like to see what is the shiny object in the sky there. But what I'm going to tell you today, that shiny object in the sky is very helpful for you guys, and it can be, it is a wonderful thing to have sun, because sun and the moon cycle are controlling our biorhythms. So these sun and the moon cycle creates the circadian rhythms, and they are in turn working on our biorhythms. And these biorhythms are very important regulator of hormones and our whole enzyme systems. We create a sleep and wake cycle, all those things. So today we are going to talk about sunscreen. We are talking about when we go out, we get injured, and what we can do to help protect that. And also we're going to talk about travel, because with the sun out and with the vacation times right now, a lot of folks are traveling and long distances, going to different places in the world, even locally. And whenever you do that, there a risk of catching up some bugs from the food, from the water, or even you can get from the insect bites like mosquitoes or other kind of bugs there. So what you can do to prevent naturally, because I'm a natural medicine doctor, and I love to preach about natural medicine. So this is what we'll be talking about today. So first of all, the sun is not bad for us. Sun is very important for us. So we have been doctrined into think that sun is the worst thing which can happen to you, and which is not right, which is wrong. So a lot of countries like Australia, where there is a lot of sun exposure, they also have the highest amount of skin cancer. So we've been told that when you want to protect yourself from the sun, you should use a sunscreen. But Australia as a country uses the highest amount of sunscreen per capita than any other country in the world, and they still have the highest amount of skin cancer. So that 2 and 2 does not add up here. There is something wrong with this picture. So basically, I think that's what I'm going to teach you today, that the sunscreen which you think are right there in your protection, they are not good for you. As a matter of fact, a lot of the sunscreen with the chemicals they have, they are really, really bad for you. And these chemicals, if you look at the sunscreen industry, it is a multi-billion-dollar industry, because almost everybody has been told the sun is so bad for you, it's going to cause a skin cancer to you. My question out there is, if that is so bad, that how about these animals? How about the birds? Why they don't get this skin cancer? And there are animals which are has skin like us, and they even don't get skin cancer too. So there's something we are doing wrong. It's not the sun, it is something we are doing wrong in the mother nature, or we are playing with the wrong method that's causing the to have the skin cancer. So the question about the sunscreens now. So as I said earlier, the sunscreens are very harmful for us. They are not good for you. And why they are harmful for us? Because there are different kind of sunscreens, and I will also let you know what kind of sunscreens I like. So the chemical sunscreens, there are two kinds of sunscreens which is given. One is called mineral based, which is usually have zinc oxide or titanium oxide in them, and the second one is called chemical based sunscreen, which has chemicals like oxybenzone, avobenzone, octisalate, and octocrylene, and homosalate, octinoxate, so some tongue twisting name. And there are some other chemicals which are not used in this country, not allowed by FDA, but they are used in Europe and other countries. So we are not going to talk about because they're not available here. So, do you think that using these chemicals will certainly make it better to protect from these sun damage? You'll be very surprised to know that there has been more than 1,400 sunscreen products tested by a EVG, a agency out there who really looking for the environmental safety kind of issues and the public safety issues, and they found out that less than 5% met the standards, and they also found that these chemicals, screens especially, has lot more issues with the hormone disruption and even causing skin cancer. So I will say that stay out of these chemical sunscreen because these are not really good for you. They will make a big mess for you. And a lot of these sunscreen also has a vitamin A derivative in it, which is called retinol palmitate, which is also used on the assumption that adding vitamin A will help you cancer. But the study shows that it actually enhances more cancer growth. And folks out there, there is a difference between a natural molecule and synthetic molecule. And I always get very gung ho on this natural molecule versus the synthetic molecules. We can create in lab chemical very similar to the mother nature compound, but when it comes to the body, they behave differently. There is tons of studies available on folic acid deficiency and cancer. But when we give folic acid, synthetic folic acid, to people, they still get more cancer. But when we give folates from naturally occurring, like in your vegetables and fruits, they actually protect you. So you can see that these chemicals, especially the synthetically derived, they may behave differently in the body. So I certainly like you to look at it that we are not helping the process by adding chemicals on the system. And skin is like a porous stuff. It's like a sponge. It absorbs everything and it goes into circulation. And when it goes into circulation, your body picks it up and mounts a reaction with it. And you are going to have bigger issue with it. So first of all, I like to talk about vitamin D. Vitamin D is very, very essential for us. Uh, if you are vitamin D deficient, you get all kinds of cancers, heart disease, osteoporosis. People die prematurely. If you have a normal vitamin D level, the all cause mortality. What that means is that from any reason, from heart attack, from cancer, from any reason, any disease reduces significantly. I think I forgot the real statistic, around 40 to 50%, which is a huge, huge. And vitamin D, how we get it? Mother Nature has given that wonderful tool of skin, which has a specific layers of fat. When the UV light hits on our skin, we convert that into vitamin D, and then body manufactures share of vitamin D, and then it shuts off. And it does not go on making vitamin D for you. Otherwise, you'll have a lot of vitamin D toxicity. That's how the body functions most of the time. We we make it stuff there, and then body it gets its quota of that day or that time, and then says, okay, I have enough of this for today, and I don't need to manufacture, and it shuts up. So you can see that body is very intelligent. So what we have done, we have been told the sun is so bad for us, so we stopped going out, the one thing. And then, also we are living in the houses which does not have a sunlight coming in. We have cars which is UV protected. We have glasses even which is UV protected. And so if that was so, sun was so cancer causing, we would have not lived here until today, because our ancestors didn't use sunscreen. They still live. I think that's what I said earlier. There's something wrong we have done to the sun. It's not the sun which is causing the cancer. It's what we are doing something right, not right, which is causing the problem to us. And I gave the examples of animals. They're not getting more skin cancer. Why we are, So we need to think it seriously that something wrong. So sun is not bad for you guys. Okay. Also, you have to see what time you have the most heavy UV light out there. So there are two kinds of UV waves, ultraviolet rays. One is called UVA and one is called UVB. And both these rays has been shown to cause skin cancer. Previously, UVB was not considered that it was causing skin cancer, but the research later on shows that that's not true. Both UVA and UVB can cause skin cancer. But at the same time, they are very important for our body, and body makes natural vitamin D with it. So I think there is a balance needs to be struck in this stuff. And when we don't create that balance, we are having an issue here. So let's take a little short break here, and I will discuss more about what time you should go out to get UVB and UVA rays, and what you should avoid, what time you should avoid the exposure to sunlight. And then we'll also talk about what kind of natural remedies are there for your sunscreens, and what you can do, what you can wear to help cut down the effects of UV rays. So after a short break, we'll be back again.
Are you looking for quality Ayurvedic and naturopathic treatments for your chronic issues? We offer a holistic, wholesome approach to living with chronic diseases. Call us at 425-453-8022 for more information. Panchkarma detox treatments are a great way to utilize natural healing mechanisms of the body. Our clinic in Bellevue, Washington offers over 36 years experience in Ayurvedic treatment. Call us for more information about our Panchkarma treatments at 425-453-8022. That's 425-453-8022. If you or someone you know is diagnosed with cancer and is interested in adjunctive holistic approach, please come and meet our doctors at Ayurvedic and Naturopathic Medical Clinic, or call us at 425-453-8022. That's 425-453-8022. If you're suffering with diabetes, heart disease, hormonal issues, digestive issues, and other chronic health issues, we offer comprehensive Ayurvedic and naturopathic treatments to reverse your diseases. Call us at 425-453-8022 for more information.
So welcome back, folks. This is Dr. Virender Sodhi with your favorite show, Your Body's Your Natural Pharmacy. And today we are talking about very interesting topic of sunscreens, because it's $1 billion of worth of sunscreens are sold, and most of them are junk, and you are exposing yourself to more chemicals, and you are not helping the whole system. So what you can basically the UV light is the heaviest from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. So if you want to expose yourself in that time, you're going to be exposed to a lot of UV light, ultraviolet rays. So folks out there, avoid that time, 10 to 2, if you really want to cut down the sun exposure. But healthy sun exposure is really good. We all should get around 15 to 20 minutes of sun exposure. And then after that, we should protect yourself. So what I encourage people to, most of us, we are wearing clothes. So what we have is, we have shirts, and maybe in summer we have half shirts, and we still have long pants or half pants. And so our body is not fully naked. So to get your full exposure to the sun, I will encourage people to do just not more than 15 to 20 minutes of whole body exposure. If you can take your shirt off and be modest about it, not do it in the public places, which may not look very nice, or use some special whatever gear you use, keeping your modesty. And expose for 15, 20 minutes, and that's it. You can do it in back porch of your house too, where you have a nice sunlight coming in there. And that's it. You don't need more, because this is going to manufacture your natural vitamin D. But living in Northwest, I have yet to come up with the people who has normal vitamin D, including me. I walk every day around at least 20 minutes in the sun if there is available. My vitamin D is still on the. I just did my testing day before yesterday. It was 33, and 30th is the lowest normal. So you can see that, and I on top of that I take vitamin D. So my levels were still on the low side. So I think because we spend so much time inside, and I can see because I'm in the office from 8:30 to 6 o'clock, and I get a little 15, 20 minutes of window for walking in the lunchtime, and but that is not enough, especially in the Northwest. And there are other reasons, because the rays are hit differently here, so you're not able to make your vitamin D. But we still get exposed to UVB and UVA light, which can be harmful for the skin if it's overexposed to it. So again, I think I'm trying to tell here is there is a delicate balance which you need to learn how to manipulate that, so you don't get a problem with these sun rays, but you get the positive effect of it. So one thing is, if you really want to avoid the sun, what you need to do is you needed to have you stop or avoid going between 10 to 2 when there is the highest UV A and UVB rays. So that's one thing. And second thing is, what you should do is have a long hat, which will protect you from the getting the sun exposures to your face. A lot of times, people are more concerned about the face, because I think this is what you present yourself with. People get a little concerned about it, but I'm okay with it, exposing my face too, but for a short term, because yes, if I expose too much, I will have the sun damage, and skin can get aged, because UVA and UVB light also causes the photo aging, and the damage can be on a long-term basis. So you might have seen that people who live in higher altitude have a lot of wrinkling of the skin, and this is because of the photo damage. And so because at the higher altitude, the rays are very direct, and there is a less pollution in those areas too, so the rays can penetrate in the skin. So yes, it does cause photo aging too. So, but there is again, as I said, there is a delicate balance between healthy sun exposure to excessive sun exposure. So one other thing which a lot of people do when they put the sunscreens on, they think, oh my God, we can just soak in as much as sun they can, and they may not get burned because they put the sunscreen on it, but they're still getting damage from the sun rays. So this is interesting. So it's a difference between the sunburn and the sun damage, because when you are exposing yourself to that level of sun exposure, you are going to get some damage, and then which is not good for you. So very important that the food is a very important part here. So food, if you eat a lot more green vegetables, lot more colorful vegetables like carrots or beets, lots of fruits and vegetables like colored fruits and vegetables like blueberries, which are in season right now, cherries and cranberries, pro-anthocyanidins and anthocyanidin rich food, which is all those dark colors, that helps you protect you from the sun rays. So there are studies done on people who eat a lot more vegetables, a lot more fruits and vegetables, has a less of a sun damage because they are naturally protecting you. So again, if you're eating your garbage food and you most of the time when people are out in the sun, they're drinking lots of beer or wine, and they eating barbecue, and then getting full exposure, and they may have a slap of this sunscreen on top of which is a poison. So now you're drinking alcohol, which is very bad for your liver and make you more toxic material. You're eating a barbecue, which is a burnt meat, which is also carcinogenic, and then on top of it you have a chemical screen, which is damaging your skin, and also you circulating those bad chemicals in your system, and you're getting over soaked in the sun, which is also damaging. So you can see the picture, how we can really get it damaged from this overexposure of the sun. So the bottom line is, what kind of sunscreens are good for you? So I like zinc oxide, and there is a lot of preparation out there with the nanoparticles, I don't think those are good because nanoparticles, we don't know. Uh, we still don't have a full history. So there are two kinds of mineral sunscreens available. One is with the zinc oxide, and second is with the titanium oxide. Personally, I like zinc oxide. Titanium oxide, I'm not very excited about it either because there is some studies on the side effects of it. So I will rather use the zinc oxide, but not with the nanoparticle. I think there are some studies that if you have a very nanoparticle, it does not help the protection from the UVA rays. So there has to be kind of balance between a particle size. How big is the size of a zinc oxide molecule? The broader, bigger molecule will have a, because it blocks the sun rays absorption, and will block that absorption to happen through the skin. So if you get your zinc oxide based your sunscreen, that is my favorite, and I think that will be good. But others, I'm not very good fan. And there are some sunscreens available in Europe, but those are not available in the US. So I'm not going to talk about it. Uh, so then you can see that what else you can do to help. So wear hat, wear clothes, long sleeves. So cotton, loose cotton. You can really nice lighter clothes, and you have a long pants on and have a hat on. So, and also the eye protection gear is very, very important too, because UV light is also bad for the your eyes too. So if you have your glasses and you have your long sleeves and long pants and you have a hat, now you are cutting down exposure drastically. And but at the same time, you can expose yourself 15 to 20 minutes your body, and then after that wear these all the gears, so your exposure to sun reduces drastically. uh, and a lot of time when we go out and we just playing between 10 to 2 a lot, and that's the time when we're going to get a lot more exposure from the sun. So try to stay in the shade, because the shade there is a less UV light, or create a shade. You can take your camp gear. You can have an umbrella. You might have seen a lot of Asian cultures used to have, at least. It's changing everywhere in the world. They had those big bamboo basket kind of umbrellas on the head. As they're working, they have that umbrellas, and they're working under that big umbrellas. So that protected them from the rain and also from the sun. I come from the mountains of India, and it was a tradition that everyone carried an umbrella, because one thing is, when in sunny weather, the sun becomes very harsh and sharper, especially at a higher elevation. So they used to carry the umbrella, and also when it's rainy, it protected from the rain. So a lot of time, if you see the advertisements out there, people are told, okay, the more higher SPF, the sun protective factor, the better it is for you. That is absolutely wrong. There are products available with SPF 30, SPF 20, 15, 50. In Europe, the highest SPF allowed is 30, but the higher SPF does not translate into higher protection from the sun damage. If anything, it is more dangerous for you, because what it does, you putting more chemical load on your system, and that extra amount of chemical load is not really good for you. It actually causing more problem. And again, as I said, vitamin A containing is also not good, because it enhances more cancer in people too. So that's not really good. And so basically, I think I've given you the ideas what you need to do. And a lot of these sunscreen, they actually disrupt the hormone. There are studies done with the sunscreens, which in the male, and they have shown that it reduces your testosterone level. And testosterone level is very important for both men and women, but for men it actually causes a lot more damage too when you have a low testosterone. So you can see there is a problem with using this chemical based one. And also, if you are a mother and you are breastfeeding the kid, these chemicals can go through the milk, and your kid can have problems. So I think use the other non-toxic method whenever you have a baby. And for anybody, I don't want the chemicals to use, because those are not the good ones. So the best option for you will be to using a zinc-based sunscreens. Okay, I will be back again after a short break again, and we are talking about sunscreen, and almost we have discussed many different methods of sun protection which you can do. Then next we are going to talk about the travel medicine when you're traveling and what you need to take care of it and what kind of supplements you can use to help. And we still actually finish up with the sunscreen. There are certain little more factors which you can help to have a better sun protection shortly after the break.
If you're suffering with diabetes, heart disease, hormonal issues, digestive issues, and other chronic health issues, we offer comprehensive Ayurvedic and naturopathic treatments to reverse your diseases. Call us at 425-453-8022 for more information. Are you looking for quality Ayurvedic and naturopathic treatments for your chronic issues? We offer a holistic, wholesome approach to living with chronic diseases. Call us at 425-453-8022 for more information. Panchkarma detox treatments are a great way to utilize natural healing mechanisms of the body. Our clinic in Bellevue, Washington offers over 36 years experience in Ayurvedic treatment. Call us for more information about our Panchkarma treatments at 425-453-8022. That's 425-453-8022. If you or someone you know is diagnosed with cancer and is interested in adjunctive holistic approach, please come and meet our doctors at Ayurvedic and Naturopathic Medical Clinic or call us at 425-453-8022. That's 425-453-8022.
So welcome back. This is Dr. Virender Sodhi, and you are listening to Your Body's a Natural Pharmacy. This is a recorded show because, as you know, this is a long weekend and my family is visiting. My son and my daughter-in-law are visiting from Florida. And so I'm trying to take off on Saturday, so I'm not doing a live show as I usually do. And we have been talking about sunscreen. So a lot of folks out there don't understand that the oils are natural sun protector. You can use olive oil or you can use coconut. Coconut oil is considered cooling, so sun is hot, so it's also good for you. And so, basically, if you use the coconut oil, apply on the skin. So basically, what I do is when I take a shower, I wipe my body with the towel, and then I take the coconut oil and rub all over my head to bottom on my feet, everything, and then let it soak it into my system, and then maybe dab it off with the towel, and then go from there. So basically, how you can block or divert the sun rays, there are two methods. Either you block it or you reflect it. So when you put the oil screen on you, you're reflecting it. So the coconut oil can be up to 15 to 20 SPF, which is pretty good, darn good, and very non-toxic, very safe. And if you eat lots more vegetables and keep your system hydrated, you're cutting down further. So I think you have a natural ways where you can do. Another herb, which is my favorite, is aloe vera. Aloe vera gel is available without any chemicals too. And you can apply on your skin, especially on the exposed areas after you have done your healthy sun exposure. Apply that, and that also has a cooling properties, which will help you the actually sunburn, and also will help you from getting the damage done by the sun. And also aloe vera is very healing to the skin. The other essential oil which I love is the sandalwood. What you can do is you can put the sandalwood in olive oil. So if you take around 8 ounces of sandalwood, the 8 ounce of the olive oil, and you put around say 40 to 50 drops of sandalwood oil in it, and shake it properly and apply. So it has a very cooling properties, and it's very nice and soothing, and it will also help the SPF. Similarly, you can put rose oil, which is expensive, absolute, but has a very nice and cooling, and you will see calming effect with it too. And it's also a good toner for the skin. Similarly, sandalwood is also a good toner for the skin. And so now you have your skin is being toned. You're also protecting sun, getting too much excessive sun, and also helps to heal your skin from the sun damage. So these are simple techniques which you can use, all of you, to help your skin to get better sun protection. So in short, wear clothes, hats, and long pants and long sleeves. Don't play in the from in the sun from 10 to 2. Try to play in the morning and the evening. That will help you. And whenever you go and picnic under the tree, or take a canopy or a tent where you can have some shade, drink lots of water, and don't expose yourself. A lot of time when you're putting slathering with the sunscreen, you're thinking you are protected. You're not protected. You actually have more issues. Wear sunglasses. That also helps. And before you go out, check the UV index. So there is a index out there which is called UV index, and how much UV rays are out there, and you can check it out. And you want to go when there is a lesser UV index, and that way you are helping your system not to get overexposed to the sun. The next topic which I'm going to talk about is this travel medicine. Uh, as the vacations are already in, and a lot of people travel in the summer. I think the summer is the heaviest traveled months in the whole year, and a lot of people fly out into different places, especially to Asia and including Middle East. Some of them are to Europe and Mexico and Latin America and within America too. So when we are at a particular place, there is a particular set of bacteria which is common to that area, and so we get used to it. We get exposed to those chemicals, sorry, those bacteria on a regular basis, and body somehow adjusts to it, and we have no issues with it. So because every place will have a different kind of ecosystem of bacteria, so when we are moving from one place to another, the bacteria set changes, and some of those bacteria can be a little upsetting to us. So very common ailment with the travel is called travel's diarrhea. So basically, as the name suggests, when you travel, the bacteria set changes, and there are a lot of some pathogenic bacteria too, which is called travel's diarrhea. Shigella is one of Giardia. Those kind of stuff can also cause it too. And by the way, we have a lot of Giardia in Eastern Washington here. You just have to drink the water from the river, and you'll be full of Giardia. So yes, it can even hit home here, and people can get problem with the traveling from Washington, western side of Washington to eastern side of Washington, and especially if you drink the water. So the number one protection when you're traveling is your water. And so there are filters available. You can have it less than, there are 2 microns, less than 2 micron filters, which you can filter the water. And if not, you can drink the bottled water, which is safer. And especially when you're traveling outside the country, to drink more bottled water, because that will help you the exposure to these different kind of bacteria. But you cannot stop the exposure to bacteria, which is going to come through the air, which is going to come through the food, or even when you're taking a shower. I've seen patients where they have used every precaution, and the only one thing they forgot to do, they brush with the regular tap water from that place, and that they end up catching the amoebas. And amoebas are very common, by the way, in Asia and Southeast Asia. And somehow, as I said earlier, the body develops the immunity if you get exposure and exposure again. For example, people living in India or in Bangladesh and Pakistan, they will be immune to amoebas. They have amoebas in the system, but that amoebas are not able to do anything to them, because the body has learned a method how to beat it. Whereas when we go, our system is completely brand new for them, and this is, aha, we got a wonderful meal here, and let's attack it and create a problem for it. So for us, it can create a problem. So what do you need to do is, try to eat at a place where their food is clean. That's one factor. Don't eat from the street and hawkers, because that certainly are going to be not clean food, and there'll be a lot more exposure to the bugs and the mosquitoes and flies, and which can carry in those different kind of bacteria to that food. Uh, if you have to use as a product, I love probiotics. Probiotics is the natural bacteria which reside in our colon, and they have a very protective action. And taking the probiotics protects you from getting the wrong bacteria, because in our system, as I said on my radio program so many times, we have 100 trillion cells in our body. We have 1,000 trillion bacteria. So out of these 1 1,000 trillion bacteria, there is more than 10,000 species, and their number itself is staggering, and they have a lot of immune function. So when your wrong set of bacteria get triggered on, they will make more toxic load, and body will have a hard time handling with the toxic load. So, but when you have a good bacteria in your system, you are going to protect yourself. So I like higher percentage of probiotic. So usually I like 7, 8 strain probiotic, and I like a product called Probiotic 100B. You take one capsule before meals, couple times a day, and if you have issue with the diarrhea or loose stools, you can take more of that because it will protect you, and it's very non-toxic. You cannot have any toxicity with it. There are, there are certain people, very rarely, people got some more infections with it. So, but it has, I think, only few cases has been recorded in the medical literature. So it's not a big concern. But people who are very weak immune system, people who are immune compromised, like people who are on under chemotherapy, radiation, or people who has some other chronic disease, maybe more has an issue of developing these good bacteria can be causing problem. But most of the normal people, there should be no problem. Uh, so the other product which I like is a very famous Ayurvedic herb called Trifla or Trifle. Trifla is a combination of three fruits, and commonly they are called amla, which is a Indian gooseberry, and another one is haritaki and beheda. These fruits are amazing for body's digestion and elimination. There is a, again, lots of studies available on these herbs to help in protection of the getting the different kind of bacteria, like even giardia or amoebas or even parasites. So when you take it, it's regularly, you are protecting your gut from getting infected with these different kind of bacteria in it, and helping, and plus is non-toxic too. It has a mild laxative action, so it keeps you regular. And you might have noticed that when you travel, you get constipated, and this constipation can be another problem. And if you're not drinking enough water, so again, come back to the water and taking more nice fruits and vegetables. Another, whenever you travel, certain fruits has a more digestive action than others. Then especially I like pineapple. Like if you go to Hawaii, there's tons of pineapple there, and pineapple has a enzyme called bromelain, so it's very digestive and good for the gut bacteria too, and also has lots of other phytochemicals. The another one, my favorite, is papaya. Papayas also has an enzyme called papain, so it helps with the digestion and elimination. So whenever you travel, try to eat fruits and vegetables which has a lot more enzyme. For example, kiwi. If you are in New Zealand or Australia, which is a kiwi country, and you can have kiwis, figs, which is going to be in season pretty soon here. I've not seen it yet, but they should be coming pretty soon. Figs are also very healthy for digestion and elimination. Prunes. So almost all these different fruits has amazing properties, and most of the time eating fresh vegetables you will not get wrong. Of course, there is a chances that you may pick up some bacteria, but if you follow these guidelines, you are going to prevent yourself from getting the travel associated diarrhea at least. Then the other thing, when people travel, they get exposed to different kind of foodborne diseases like hepatitis. And hepatitis A is very common in Southeast Asia, and hepatitis E, because it is a oral fecal route, means the these viruses are spread through the feces or the excreta of the body, and then we get picked up by eating, and we get infected. And it's also called hepatitis A is also called yellow jaundice, people, because people become very yellow. There is a hepatitis A vaccination available, which can prevent you. It is pretty safe. The only vaccination which I will encourage people to get is hepatitis A. But if you don't want to, you can be very well protected. And there are liver herbs, especially Eclipta alba, Behavior diffusa, Philanthus neruri combination, that will help your body to get not to this hepatitis A and E. A lot of time when people travel to India and they don't want to get vaccination, they ask me, Dr. Sodhi, what I can do. So I usually encourage them to take these herbs, Livtone, and Livtone actually helps the liver to protect from many different onslaughts, and one of them is your hepatitis A and E. I have thousands of patients which has gone to India or Thailand and Nepal or China, and none of them has come back with hepatitis A or E, and they were not immune to it either. So somehow there is some protective action on these herbs, which has shown that people don't get infected. And I have a patient who were hepatitis A positive, and their titers are going positive. As soon as I started on these herbs, their titer went back to the normal within 1 week to 2 weeks. So which is very quick for because liver takes around 6 weeks to heal. So I think there. So I developed this protocol. People take this liver herb before they start going to any place, around 7 to 10 days before, and that way when you are there, you constantly use it, and you also use it around 7 to 10 days when you come back again. So because you created a kind of shield around you, you will have no issue with the liver diseases. So then another problem when people travel is the bug bites, especially mosquitoes. Mosquitoes, as one of the most common disease spread by the mosquitoes, among many others, is malaria. And malaria is malaria kills more people worldwide than any other disease, and it's one of the biggest killer of with the tropical diseases. The treatment again is either you take a chloroquine or you take a doxycycline kind of drugs, and a lot of people doesn't want to take it. And so what my option is, I give them a herb called neem, and neem is a bitter herb, and it is a blood cleanser. And you can take this capsule, 500 milligrams, one capsule, couple times a day, as a protective. And similarly, you can start 7 to 10 days before and 7 to 10 days later. And what I found out that when people were given, none of them got either malaria, or not only malaria, they also get less bug bite. So neem has a bug repellent activity. What that means is that you are when you take the neem, you are not as pleasant to these bugs, and they will not come to you and bite you. Uh, Many years ago, I went to Hawaii, and in these, actually, I think it was in May, and there were so many mosquitoes there. They were just loving me. I said, okay, we have a fresh blood coming from Washington State. Let's eat it up. And so they were just kind of all over me. And I forgot to take my neem with me. So what I did, fortunately, there were neem trees available in Hawaii. So I made a decoction, and I will take a shower with it. I boil the leaves of the neem, and in the end, I will have a couple of glasses of that decoction and spread all over my body. And also I ate the leaves of neem, around 2 to 3 leaves, which are very bitter, by the way, but they are good tonic. And around a couple of days later, my body was not attracted to these bugs anymore. So neem is very effective for the mosquito repellent action, and also protecting you from getting these mosquito-borne diseases. Another mosquito-borne diseases are chikungunya or dengue fever, which is a very nasty, and there are studies available, and I published in my book too about that, and have experience with it too. People who were exposed to had a dengue fever or chikungunya fever, they did not their illness actually shortened very drastically from 2 3 days. Within 2 3 days, they were all better. So I think there are these herbs has a very protective action against these mosquito-borne or the bug-borne diseases. Similarly, in our state, there is not a big problem with the Lyme disease, but eastern state there are some Lyme ticks are there, and in east side of the country there's a epidemic of Lyme disease. Neem also helps the prevention of the Lyme disease. So you can take that one, and your body, even if you got a bug bite by this tick, you will not go into the reactions which usually you go into, and it will help you prevent. So this is part of my standard protocol. People who go out, so they also take neem as a protective, because neem is protecting you from the bug bites, protecting you from getting malaria, chikungunya, and also from the tick-borne diseases. So now you have covered your bases a little more. So you have covered your liver, you covered your bug bites, and you also covered your travel-related diarrhea. So we'll keep our conversation going on. We talked about sunscreens today. We have talked about the travel medicine, and we'll continue our travel medicine stuff. And then also we'll talk about what you can do if you got minor scrapes and burns and type of stuff. What kind of herbs you can use, and what other herbs you can use when you're traveling to protect yourself from getting the illnesses after the short break.
If you're suffering with diabetes, heart disease, hormonal issues, digestive issues, and other chronic health issues, we offer comprehensive Ayurvedic and naturopathic treatments to reverse your diseases. Call us at 425-453-8022 for more information. Panchkarma detox treatments are a great way to utilize natural healing mechanisms of the body. Our clinic in Bellevue, Washington offers over 36 years experience in Ayurvedic treatment. Call us for more information about our Panchkarma treatments at 425-453-8022. That's 425-453-8022. Are you looking for quality Ayurvedic and naturopathic treatments for your chronic issues? We offer a holistic, wholesome approach to living with chronic diseases. Call us at 425-453-8022 for more information. If you or someone you know is diagnosed with cancer and is interested in adjunctive holistic approach, please come and meet our doctors at Ayurvedic and Naturopathic Medical Clinic or call us at 425-453-8022. That's 425-453-8022.
Welcome back, folks. This is Dr. Virender Sodhi. You're listening to my program, Your Body is a Natural Pharmacy, where I teach you that you have everything within your body to stay healthy and on top of your health. But what you have to do is follow the laws of Mother Nature. You eat healthy, you do exercise, you do yoga, you do your breathing exercise, you do Tai Chi, you have a quality time with your family, and you also have a gut laugh, a sound sleep. And another thing is getting a good sound sleep is very protective from almost all the diseases. So if you follow the simple laws of Mother Nature, you'll be very surprised that you are going to stay on top of your health. Yes, we all going to die, but we don't have to die with the disease. We die because the body is saying, okay, my heart has now pumped enough and it is the battery is on, it's gone now, and not time to recycle. This is the way we should be all going, not with the chronic diseases, what we're seeing in today in our society. And I wish that everybody out there should be live healthy because health is such an important thing for all of us. Today, we have talked about sunscreens, we have talked about travel medicine, and I'm going to continue my travel medicine tips for you a little more. So another thing, when we are traveling, so what we get fevers, and we are concerned about fevers, and we also get body aches, and we also get adjustment to the time zones. We are traveling between different time zones, and so all those things can also affect our health. So when you get a fever, the most common remedy is the people use is the paracetamol or Tylenol. Again, I'm not a great fan of Tylenol because if you look at this study, it's the number one cause of liver failure in the world. And the fever is there because it is good for you. Fever is not bad. Fever is a good thing for you. Yes, make sure that your fever is not 108, 110, because that is certainly not good for you. But up to 102, 103, fever is good because your body is fighting. And if you're really concerned about it, instead of popping in a Tylenol, you can take a ginger powder. So keep that in your, in your toolbox. You take 1 teaspoon of ginger powder, couple times a day, 3 times a day, 2 times a day, and you'll be surprised that you're feeling less achy and painful. The effects of ginger is as good as your aspirin, as your Tylenol, as your ibuprofen. Now, you can certainly, make sure. And plus non-toxic, and so what do you just ginger will help you to get. So I think it should be part of your toolkit there when you're traveling. There are ginger tablets available, or if you're not, they buy the ginger powder. It's just dirt cheap for a few dollars a pound. You can get good amount of ginger, and it's good digestive too. So when you're traveling, you want to keep your digestive system healthy. So you can actually even take it as a prophylactic. You can sprinkle on your food and eat it with your food, and you have a good digestive system, a robust digestive system, and it will also prevent from the fevers and aches and pain. The another thing is, you get tired and you feel fatigue, and because whenever you travel, you do too much, and so again, tendency is to pop in another ibuprofen or pop in the Tylenol to get rid of the aches and pains. Again, those are not my favorite. And uh, ginger comes to that remedy too. Again, ginger is good. Another herb which is really good for aches and pains is turmeric or curcumin. So you can keep your curcumin capsules handy, and you can take 1 to 2 capsules of curcumin a couple times a day, and you'll be surprised your aches and pains are gone. Isn't that wonderful? Just a simple remedy and pretty non-toxic. Again, there is, I think the toxicity you have to take kind of buckets of it to create a toxicity. So very safe. Even kids can take it too. Then the another thing is when you are traveling between time zones, you get issues with the sleep. Your sleep get disturbed, and you're not sleeping in properly at times, and you're waking up at the wrong time, or you feel groggy. So one very simple thing which I tell my patient is, whenever you travel, go to that place where you travel and look at the sun. Doesn't matter what time of the day you are in. So if you land on a particular place on the afternoon, as soon as you get your things settled down, try to find where the sun is and try to look at the sun. Close your eyes, open your eyes, close your eyes, open your eyes. So what you're doing is you are resetting your pineal gland to that setting. And when you do that, your biorhythms changes to that place, and which is a simple way of resetting, and you don't have to depend upon taking a Benadryl or even a sleeping pill like Ambien or other to promote the natural sleep. And again, if you have listened to my program, these sleeping pills, I'm deadly against it, those too, because they also causes premature deaths. So one simple method is just looking at the sun, resetting your pineal gland. You can also do sun salutation. As the sun salutation, you understand is you're facing the sun and doing with the sun. So if in the morning the sun is in the east, in the evening sun is in the west. So when you do that, what are you doing? Resetting again your pineal gland. So which is very healthy and helpful way of resetting your system. My favorite herb for anxiety and the insomnia is ashwagandha. You can take ashwagandha 2 capsules, 500 milligrams at night, and you'll be sleeping like a baby. It's not a sleeping pill, by the way. Basically, what it does, it lowers your cortisol levels, and it also has a good effect on the energy. So you will have more energy, because when you're in travel, you want to see a lot of places, you want to go a lot of places. So you need extra amount of energy there. And by doing that, you see that your system is more has a more pep in it. And when you have more pep, you will be able to see more and you'll be able to enjoy more. So simple, just popping in ashwagandha. And if you still have issue with the sleep, you're not able to sleep, melatonin is a really good tool too. And especially if you're traveling between the time zones, I encourage people to take 3 milligram. Some people are actually very sensitive. They may need only 1 to 2 milligram. Depending upon your sensitivity level, start from anywhere between 1 to 3 milligrams of melatonin and take at night. Some people get very groggy with it afterward. So be careful. Don't drive if you're feeling groggy. That will be not very helpful. So that is the caution which I will use. But the herb like ashwagandha, there's not a grogginess. You sleep overnight and you feel fresh in the morning. Again, taking a short walk, doing your meditation, doing your yoga, doing your breathing exercise, all helps add into the charm of your travels too. And you will certainly enjoy it much, much better. So, folks, I think we have discussed a lot of stuff for outdoor activities for the summer. We talked about sunscreen. We talked about what type of sunscreens will be good for you. We talked about the travel medicine and what do you need to do for when you're traveling. And the last but the least, if you get hurt, a lot of times we are traveling, we are going hiking, we fall down, we get twisted ankle, we got little cuts and burn. So one thing which I encourage for people to do is take some first aid with you. So crepe bandage, maybe tape, maybe some super glue, bandages. Washing with the water or with even the soap is the best way of cleaning your wound. If you can carry your hydrogen peroxide with you, that's another good method. Have a hydrogen peroxide, pour on the scrape and burn, wash with the water first and then pour the hydrogen peroxide, and then put a clean bandage. If you have antiseptic cream on it, perfectly good. Okay, folks out there, have a wonderful summer vacations and travels. And we'll come next week with some new program for you, and stay healthy.